If you're not for that, then whatever.
Oh, you had 1950 gold after buying and selling. So.
Really?
Wait, hold on.
If we
How do we know?
times
I just
that
found the video. Link the video. Link the video.
Scott is pulling a screenshot or it didn't
7,800.
happen.
Yeah, I need
7,800.
screenshot or it didn't happen.
Scott, it's your fault. You could have just said 3 of the 4 bags.
7,800.
Yo, screenshot it didn't happen.
could've
Like,
just
I
said.
screenshot specifically the attacks that, including Thunk's spell immediately beforehand, the attacks that all missed Maggie, just in case people are gonna try to call me out for like, no, you're just being a nice DM. And I'm like, no, I legit missed her across the board. I got my macros right here. Boom, so you can see them.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I am the epic loot maker.
It's week 20, part 4, 44 minutes in. I'm gonna go look right now.
Yeah, let's check this out. Let's check the. Can you?
Do I
Can
have
you?
7,800 gold right now? Is that what's going on?
We're about to find out right
Well, I'm
now.
gonna be holding on to it, but
Or yeah, Gromit
yeah,
has
I
it.
guess you
Excuse
you
me.
have.
She'll be holding on to it.
This is my money handler, Gromit. He knows his place.
Well, I think you can carry some of that, right?
I can
Clearly
carry
you
like
were.
20 pounds worth, I think.
All right, Mathis. I know. I'm only gonna have him check it out because Mathis is a very honest PC when it comes to stuff because he doesn't give a flying poopy about gold. So if he says it's
Flying
true,
poopy.
if he
44
says
minutes
it's true-
exactly, check, because I'm about to hit that right
Poopy
now.
with
Yep,
wings.
do 44 minutes and probably watch next.
Or maybe the poopy flies without wings.
Yeah, that's it.
So yep,
Still
500
on
gold
this.
pieces for the ring, and it was Listen, there's a lot of poopy in my life nowadays.
For the armor, so
a lot of poopy.
Okay. And I think you got 3,200. So
He got 32. Okay, hold on. Here's the math right here. You
Okay,
got
I'm-
30.
I'm
you
at
got
the
you got
30?
3,200 for
Okay,
selling
32?
it.
I
got
charge
it.
you 750 for the armor. So it's a total of 1,250 that you.
Minus 1,250 for the armor and the ring combined.
Minus 1,250, so he's 1950.
Yeah, but what else did you spend the money on? What's like the next minute?
All right.
What's like the minute after that?
Let's just do a recap of that episode real quick. Profit of like.
Yeah, this is you know what?
2,000
Screw
gold,
this last hour. Let's just watch that episode. And like,
Oh,
and
we'll
like
do
2
like
times
Mystery
speed.
Science Theater, like
Yeah.
watch
Yeah.
it and comment.
That'd be
down.
so funny.
That would
Well,
be
down
fun.
to just one magic item. Right? As soon as we all die, let's just do that. Let's just mystery science.
Okay,
theater.
so you have 1950. I'll just times that by 3, and
That's-
I'll add that to this so that we have that. Then.
Wait, times by 4, you
Plus-
mean?
So that would
No,
be,
because he's carrying the 1950 on him, so he should
Gotcha.
still have that.
so
That
you'll
is
have
that's
50.
I'll
that's still
carry the
almost
other.
40 pounds. That's still like 38
is
and a
it too
half pounds
much?
of gold for you there.
Yeah.
There.
I can
Yeah.
carry some of that then. How much do you want me to carry? of it?
Let's you go ahead and carry the bulk of it because it's gonna weigh me down pretty heavily, and you're.
How much do you want on you?
I'll just keep 1,000 because I think that's a good weight
Okay,
for me to
so then
manage.
I will carry 6,800 plus
You got a lot of fucking money.
plus my 230.
Mathis,
So
did I
that's
just let them
7,030.
have several thousand?
I
gold?
don't understand why that 3 of the 4 bags didn't disappear in the first place.
because they didn't go back through.
That's fine. That's your call.
They just
Ma-
exist.
Mathis, can you do me a favor? Can you
It was
never
my
tell
reward
any of
for
our
being
friends
silly,
that
I
this
think.
First of all,
happened?
either that's a major flaw on your part or a major flaw of the person who designed the castle. Of that
I'm pretty
spell.
sure
That
it's his
spell,
fault.
that wall is so ungodly exploitable that anybody who knows about it could make themselves a king within minutes.
Absolutely.
Like if we were
it's
smart,
straight
we'd be
up.
like, fuck adventuring. Like I could support Grumish just by multiplying my gold forever and then buying out an entire city.
No,
This is
literally,
hilarious that this is
Otto
like
and I
the
sat there and we were like,
Yeah.
This
This
is
is the
very-
oldest RPG fucking trick in the book, dude. Every RPG.
You found an exploit. You're playing with
has the
video
gold
gamers.
cloning trick.
Yeah. You're playing with gamers who find gold exploits
but
and
we're
just
also not sitting there and keeping exploiting it.
No, we exploited it the
Yeah.
one time and we're just gonna
Let's just
go.
get a quick
Just
little
give us a
exploit
little
for
pet,
8,000
you
gold
know,
and then
it's
bounce on
fine.
that.
Don't ban me. Maybe give me like a 3-day suspension.
Yeah. And Maggie, you know all about that. You know all about how to deal with those punishments. That's it. That's
Yeah.
fair, right?
The gods are gonna
usually-
come down and ban
yeah.
us.
We usually ban people, or we take it away.
To be
Usually
fair,
that's what
though,
happens.
the Bear's character Addo does worship Timora. I mean, she's not the goddess of fortune. That's Joaquin, but still, that's still a goddess of luck
We got
and
lucky.
and a goddess of fortune, of good fortune, whatever, as opposed to like prosperity, which is Joaquin. Sorry.
We just exploited it. It's fine.
I just
All
like
right.
that we're like
One
standing
time-
there with the
one
with
time
4
exploit.
bags of gold.
One time exploit. That's we can let this happen. We can let
All right,
this.
so
go.
we're at the we're supposedly at the keep now, right?
Oh, by the way, who was the person that? I'm sorry. Who was the person that found that out? It was.
That was Grumman.
I think it was Ace One Killer 13.
Oh.
Can we ban him for life on this channel, or her?
Good
or
way to
her.
build a community.
Ace,
Yep,
you
yeah,
are a
banned
beast.
for life from
Ace.
the channel. Thank
Ace,
you.
You get extra. Everyone.
Yep.
Give Ace
Frank,
some
Frank,
love.
Frank, please take care of that for me. Thank you, Frank.
Ace
Thank
Killer.
you, Frank.
Everyone.
Banned
this
for
is
life.
good.
Love and everyone.
Nope,
Yeah.
Nope. Banned
Yeah.
for life.
Oh, and then maybe add a little DM there, because you know.
Oh no, you know the DM played himself, so you just gotta
the DM
like
played himself, so you DM everyone. Love.
So is it like an infinite like DM played, DM played,
yeah,
DM
yeah,
played, DM? Okay.
exactly.
All right, so let's keep going. As always, Thonk is suspicious of everything because when he looks at this face, he goes, "Nope, we're getting fucked." Even though we just got like over $7 grand, we're
Well,
getting fucked.
I don't understand how like
Guys, grab your ankles. Just
listen. Every single game I've ever played with you, Scott, when you give us a lot of treasure, within a month it's gone and we're poor and we're on the streets. So I'm just saying, it's coming.
Rye's not here at the moment. Just saying.
Grumman's okay with that, as long as he has a weapon.
All right, we're confused. Let's go.
I am sad though. I'm an eagle. I'm supposed. He's nerfing me intentionally. You guys realize this?
So you you're just going to ignore it. Thonk is just going to ignore it. You're going to continue moving on.
Well, I mean,
I was
he
like, ignore that
shouted.
you're-
There's not something feels wrong, and now Thonk is convinced we're still in the illusion. He makes that vocally apparent to the both of you, so you both know where my mind is at. It doesn't make any sense that we got here that fast. We still had at least a week's worth of travel, probably.
Grumman kind of agrees with you.
And you said you didn't see any, like, Grumman noticed there was 0 animals along the way, so.
Yeah.
We also didn't dream.
That, I mean, yeah. Is that, yeah, exactly.
I know dream all time anyway.
Yeah.
You guys are,
Dumb and brain too dumb to think. Me no think
and Otto just blacks out most of the time with alcohol, so.
Yeah, I was like, me neither.
When's the last time I went to sleep? No, I don't remember going to sleep ever.
And Thonk's like, well, guys, I didn't have any nightmares last night, okay? You know, like, it was weird.
I thought Thonk
It
would
was
like
weird.
his nightmares.
Oh.
So what do we do?
Like he likes standing up front of the classroom with no pants on. He's like, that's right. I enjoyed this experience.
That's your idea of Thonk's nightmare?
You're welcome.
Really innocent.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's way too innocent.
Well, you know.
I imagine Thonk's nightmare like he's in the middle of sacrificing something, and then someone sweeps in and like steals his sacrifice. I don't
I think we just experienced Thonk's nightmare, which is 4 autos.
know.
True.
Did you see the thing that Jellyfish made of you?
No, in the chat?
She made you 4 autos singing.
Oh, please link it again. I want to see that.
Yeah.
But I am curious.
Oh, it's in
how
the
we
it's in the
actually get
subreddit.
from- Oh, in the subreddit.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
it.
I
That's
can
good
link it in
stuff.
chat too for you.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's in the subreddit for all y'all that want to check it out. Go
All
to
y'all.
reddit.com/r/Lost Initiative Show.
I just noticed for the first time in the Reddit that picture of Mathis.
No, yeah, it's a good one, right?
Which one?
No, I'm not looking again. That one. All right. Said 9th level or something. I was like, well, okay, I'm done.
This is our screenshot of me mid-speech and
Oh,
blinking.
God.
NSFW or something like that. Yeah.
This is
Um,
great. I
The
love
four,
this.
the
Thank
4
you.
autos, it's great, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good.
All right, so let's keep going. So you make that very apparent. You said it to them, but they seem to think that you're a crazy person. Do they agree with you? How does that?
Grumman kind of agrees, but doesn't know what to do. And then I think Otto's reaction was, "What do we do now?"
Yeah.
I think that's literally what he just said.
Straight up baffled. I have no recourse for this.
Yeah, neither do I, unfortunately. Like, there's not much I can do about it.
We keep walking.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the best thing is to just keep moving.
Yeah.
Can you dispel magic?
I can try.
Okay.
Um,
I
Give
don't
it a
know what
shot.
else. What else do you got up your sleeve?
For this type of thing, dispel magic
like,
would be my
out of
best.
character.
Yeah, that's about it.
You don't have anything else? Everything else you have is like attacking and stuff?
Attacking, healing, buffing.
What about you, Otto? What you got?
My entire build is pretty much based around fooling people. So this is like
Ooh, well,
I'm
this
getting
is like
a
a
taste of my own
foolery.
medicine here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're getting a taste of what you do to your enemies.
And I need to find myself a way to get out of these circumstances. Clearly, I got to be able to win against myself, especially if I get cloned again. Who knows what'll happen?
DM banked.
Yeah, don't tell him your weaknesses.
Here's the thing: if I dispel,
Grommen is going to like move away from you all and just start like hacking away at the ground or a tree or something nearby. See what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happens with Grumman's tree?
Yeah.
Eventually, the
happens?
tree gets cut down and falls.
Does it look like a real tree?
The tree falls. When it hits the ground, this is the loudest thing you guys have experienced since you got here. The tree does
I just
fall and it
chopped
hits
down
the
a
ground.
tree.
Just chop down the tree. But even the thwacking of the axe against the tree, not at first, but then you guys realize it sounds a little quieter than you would expect it to be. Like a thwack, whack, and then the tree. Also, a lot quieter than you'd expect it to be. Almost like it's slightly
Normally,
muffled.
when I chop down tree, much louder.
It sounds like exactly as it would,
Like
except you had your
Ryan's
hands
doing.
over your ears. It literally sounds exactly as it would, except you had your hands pressed hard over your ears. The sounds are all there. It's just slightly, like not as
Muffled.
high pitched and certainly muffled.
Did that sound? That sounded weird.
it sounded
Didn't it?
wrong.
Yeah.
Muffled almost.
I've chopped many tree down, and they never sound like that.
What? Otto grabs a rock. He grabs another one. He starts banging them together.
So when you bang two rocks together, I'm sure we all done this in real life. It's actually
I chopped down
Oh,
tree.
oh,
I've been growing tree.
Otto, make rock go bang bang.
so it's a loud. It's like a higher pitched noise, like the smacking of the rock, the initial smack. So again, it definitely sounds off because that higher pitched noise sounds much lower, a much lower octave than you would usually expect it to be, right?
I put it like right up to my ear. Is it any more clear to me? Or?
I mean, sure, because it's closer to ear, but it still sounds muffled. And once again, it's not that like higher pitched smack that you would usually hear. It's more like deeper noise than you would usually hear.
Yeah, as I'm doing this,
Just like if somebody's going like this.
I'm listening intently. Yeah, this isn't right.
Grommen's like gonna put his ear next to the rocks that you're smashing together.
I think
What I listen for?
I just sort of ignore him. I think you're right, Thug. I think we're still in the castle. Oh, fuck.
I don't want to be in castle no more.
How do we get out of here?
Ooh, maybe we think about not being here. Grommen's gonna close his eyes and think about not being here.
Otto actually considers this to be a decent idea and does the same.
Oh god.
You guys, where do you think about being? Where do you think about being?
I asked Grumman, where are you thinking you are?
I think we at Felkeep.
Me too. I open my eyes.
You're still exactly where you are with Thunk looking at you like you're an idiot.
Fuck.
Oh man, maybe we are at Felkeep. Maybe we need to
that's
think
true.
about another place. Let's hold hands.
Go ahead, Grommen. I want to go back to Black Hill.
Okay.
We hold hands.
I'm not holding
We
hands.
hold hands
I'm
and we're
watching.
thinking Grommen forces you to hold hands.
Yeah.
And
I keep-
closes his eyes.
I'm
He closes
Roll an
his eyes.
athletics check.
And he thinks about being at Black Hill.
And Otto says out loud, Black Hill. Black Hill. Black Hill.
Grommen starts saying Black Hill too.
Black
We're
Hill.
gonna have to make a new skill check called consent check. Roll a consent check for me. Consent save, please. So
3d6s.
you guys are closing your eyes and you're saying Black Hill, Black Hill, Black Hill, and you're like getting into a rhythm of it.
Mhm.
And then once you feel as though like, I think it worked, you open your eyes and Thunk is just shaking his head like, you guys are.
Otto-
That's funny.
Otto isn't discouraged. He never really got his hopes up too high, but all the same, he's frustrated.
Back to
What?
the tower.
Back to the tower? Why?
I don't want to walk another day.
We're stuck
Maggie,
here.
you know that if you were traveling at normal speeds, you'd probably be a day or two away from where your destination is. But if you're traveling at the speed you have been, you're probably a few hours away from your destination is. As opposed to Thonk was suggesting going back the exact opposite direction, which is traveling another
No,
day to get back
I
there.
think we keep going forward.
To Dark Arrow Keep.
Yeah.
I shake my head. Fine.
If we keep going further, we'll escape its grasp eventually, won't we?
Not if this is all in our heads. And our bodies aren't moving.
You're right. And
You
it
walk-
must
My
be.
remember,
body is moving.
You walked into a room and thought you were somewhere completely different.
This is. Otto grabs his head again. I can't even process it. Let's-
Dark Arrow Keep then. Is that the consensus among the two of you?
Gromman starts walking.
Otto just shakes his head and follows Gromman.
Gromman's gonna take a branch though from the tree that he chopped down,
Mm-hmm.
and as he's walking, he's going to carve another little fancy feather, Sir Fancy Feather, because he misses Sir Fancy Feather.
Sure. And so carves it as he walks.
Yeah.
Could you guys do that same thing for me you did before with the survival?
Disadvantage. Yeah.
Disadvantage survival.
Yeah.
I'll take the greater of the two disadvantages because it's a different day.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Ooh.
nice.
What the
Nice.
bah! How is this a thing? I'm like, hey, great, I'm giving you advantage of disadvantage, but still, come on.
You're giving
Come
us
on.
disadvantage.
Yeah, but giving, yeah.
Well,
We
he has a
got
+4 and I have a
320.
+2.
We got
So.
3 20s out of those 4 rolls. That's pretty good.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we're gonna go only downhill from here.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, it's near the end of the show, so we might be
Yeah.
okay.
Does luck reset like that? I don't think so.
Maybe. So you guys are making your way with making good time. I mean, Otto's head has been removed from his ass. His migraine has been cleared away from all the travel. Even if it does feel a little weird in the world, feels a little off or whatever, he's wary of all of this and is making his way with Gromman to where it is that you guys are planning, based off of the map and the descriptions and everything that you guys had. So you're making your way there, and you do in fact come across the pass, the path, sorry, that leads you up to Dark Arrow Keep. And so you're walking on that path, and finally, oh my God, you see other people here. You see there are orcs here. There are standing guard orcs here that are
See-
protecting the place. Maggie?
We fine.
So you guys see that, and as you guys draw near to them, like finally we made our way here, something seems off about them. I mean, there are many different shades of orcs. There are green orcs, there are brown orcs, there are green orcs.
Does it seem
There are
like
orcs with pig heads if you're playing in an older edition. But they there are different
What
types of
seems
orcs,
off?
different shapes and everything. They just seem darker than usual. Like almost like there's like a different shade to them
well,
than
we are
usual.
in Dark Arrow Keep.
Almost as though like their color is kind of washed, but at the same time a tinge darker than
Have-
They're tinted.
tinted. Yeah,
Have
but again,
we
their color is
seen
washed
these
out as well.
colored orcs before.
You have not. Also, they seem
Like
to be
Thonk's a
moving.
dark orc.
Well, yeah. But Thog's a dark orc. Like his skin tone is like brownish, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
This is like kind of washed out and kind of like grayish. So,
Oh.
and then
They're
as you
like
guys are making your way there,
dark
you notice that they also move
dark
kind of slower than you expect. Like they're kind of like moving almost sluggishly.
Do they acknowledge us?
Oh no. I didn't
As
see
you
that
walk
right.
past the first ones, or like within proximity of the first ones, if they would notice you, they do not. They don't. They don't say anything. They don't take note of you. They don't do anything. You
I
just walk
actually
along
will
the
like
path and ignore you.
call out to them.
Okay. So what do you call it and say? I assume in Orcish.
Yeah, I just say Orcish and just kind of ask them. This is Dark Arrow Keep, is it not?
No response.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I walk in front of them, like dead in front of their walking path, and don't move.
They seem to like look through you and kind of like turn their head and look at the other direction because they're keeping guard and they seem to be diligent, but don't seem to notice you.
I reach out to touch one.
Okay. You reach out and you place your hands kind of on one and then almost through them.
Oh,
Like,
I know.
You
Like
can kind of like feel your hands somewhat going into him, and you can see that he kind of like looks down at his chest really quickly, like where you go to touch him, and he kind of like flexes the muscle for a second, like something felt weird, but then he just kind of like shrugs it off and goes back to what he's doing.
We're on another plane. We have to be.
Whoa. That's
My
cool.
guess is like other side of the mirror. The mirror is like a separation between two planes, and we are somehow got to the other side of the mirror, and now we're in
Oh
like,
yeah.
which is why we
But maybe
Ow!
that's not bad. We can just smack yourself.
are we in the shadow plane right now?
Oh,
Why
we
don't you
have
make
to
an
go through the
Arcana check?
shadow. We have to go through
Oh,
the shadow
shit.
place.
When Thonk says
We had to
that,
go
are
to
we in
the
the shadow
shadow
plane? You that would be Thonk and Otto. Make me Arcana checks.
18.
Oh, sorry, I didn't say
15
that.
for Dan.
It didn't go bloop when I heard it. Yep. So, when you think about that, the two of you kind of like talking back and forth, like shadow plane. Well, you do know that the shadow plane is known as one of the traversing planes because in the shadow plane, things do move. You move significantly quicker.
And
Because you're almost like moving from shadow to
Rye
shadow.
went to the shadow plane in front of us too.
Rye seems to just like disappear into shadow. That creature that you were talking to beforehand seemed to be made of shadow. But more than that, and this actually comes from Otto, even though Thonk rolled higher, Otto just understanding this stuff better. Illusions themselves are made out of illusion magic, but when illusions are real enough to be touched, they're comprised of shadow stuff, which is literally pulled from the shadow plane itself. So if the illusions that you were dealing with were so incredibly tangible that they were completely real, it is very likely that Thonk's moment of realization, again, this back and forth, however, you guys, if you choose to roleplay it or not, how this back and forth
I
goes.
mean, he was talking about it. He was like, "Are we in the shadow plane?" And I'm guessing they like
Basically, we do
start
listing off like what I
spouting
would
off
think.
their
Yeah,
lore.
like it doesn't
Yeah,
make
what
sense.
they
We move
know and
faster.
stories
These guys are darker and out of. Like it doesn't make
Right.
sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, if we are in
seems to be
shadow
muffled.
plane-
Oh, I heard a story about
What
Maggie.
what do we do?
We have to get out of it, but I don't know how we got here in the first place.
Well, could we get to where we need to go and then get out?
We are. This is
Oh.
in the shadow realm. As Otto and I were bantering back and forth, traversal is much, much quicker. So what would
I
have
like
taken us
that.
a week took us what?
Why don't
2
we
days?
always travel in shadow plane?
what could have taken you a lot longer than a week took you 2 days.
Yeah. Because
We should
to-
always travel.
I
in
don't have
shadow.
none of us have the magic, with maybe the exception of Rye, to get us here. So I don't know how we got here.
Well,
I
let's
should get this
retrace.
magic.
Let's retrace our steps. How did we get in? It must
Through
have been the castle.
mirror. Through the
Otto
mirror?
says.
Yeah, yeah. And I thought like Thog is taking that and he's like processing it like the castle's probably where we entered. But to get to the shadow realm, the shadow plane, shit, like it, my guess has to be with when Rye disappeared in front of us. And when we opened that door.
Yeah, it might just be that door, huh?
Oh, so we have to go back through the door,
Maybe.
get out, and then we have to travel again.
How do we get out of the shadow plane?
Grauman's like, fuck this, we're already here. Can we just hang out with shadow people?
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck. I only know how to get in and out via magical spells that none of us have. Like Dimension... Wait, Dimension Door doesn't get us to another plane.
Dimension Door, technically speaking, blinks you through the astral plane for a
Yeah,
moment,
yeah.
but different.
There is... But I don't have, like... If I... Would Dispel Magic work?
Why not try?
Like if I do it on like auto, whatever spell got us here, would it dispel it and send him like?
If you were casting a spell like Shadow Walk, which I don't even know if that exists in 5e. If you were to cast a spell like Shadow Walk, it is a temporary like duration spell that sends you to the shadow plane for very quick travel, right? It's relatively safe. Yeah, that would work. But if you plane shifted, if you're literally in the plane of shadow, then dispelling yourself would just dispel whatever magics are on you. You're there. You're not like temporarily traversing through there in a semi-safe way. No, you're flippity flopping there.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha. That makes sense. Well, it's unlikely we have a spell casted on us, but just to knock that thing out of like even possibility, I'll cast a spell magic on auto, and hope, like it's probably not gonna do anything, but I want to get that possibility off of the list. So.
all of the spells that Otto cast on himself, like all the prestidigitations to make himself smell nice and have his hair put up nice, and all the things that he does to be as pretty as Otto is, completely go away, and you see this like mangled little golem sitting there, you know, like realize what Otto really is.
Oh, God.
Otto. You don't look so good.
Nah,
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
no, I'm just kidding.
It doesn't send him. It doesn't send him to the other.
Nope.
Okay. We got to go back.
Oh, fine.
Unless we can somehow get in contact with Ryan. Ryan knows how to get us out of here, but.
Roman
So-
starts walking.
When you say that, sometimes we can get in front of. Could you do me a favor, Mathis, and make me an intelligence check with advantage? Actually, check, not save.
For saying what?
Maybe somehow get in contact with.
Message. Do we have message?
He
14.
has a
Rye has
stone.
message.
No,
Well,
true.
do you remember? I don't know. I don't think you keep
You have a
notes. You're
stone.
very much a not keep notes PC.
Okay.
Do you remember when you were sent here forever ago by the gentleman that sent you here, whose name was Agug? Do you remember who it was that they had told you to come here and meet with?
The shaman?
Yes, the cleric, who happens to be the son of King Obold himself. His name is Brimoel.
Okay. He might be able to get us out of here.
He's the high cleric of Grumsh in this
Well, we can
castle.
give it a shot. We are here. We might as well give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you rolled decent there, you do remember, because it's super pertinent to you. So you do remember that.
All right. Thonk will kind of throw that out there. Like, we're here. We have an opportunity to maybe have somebody who has the ability to get us out, take us out. So let's go and see if I can somehow make contact with him.
How we
Okay.
do that? You
Gotta go
do
find him in
weird
Dark
ritual
Hour
thing?
Keep.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna go look for this keep.
Okay.
We're here. We're at the keep.
Look at the
Well-
keep is super easy. You walk up the ledge and you come across some old dwarven crafted like buttresses and stuff like that. Things up here like defenses made for out of dwarven make that are manned by orcs. And then you go walking around to different areas and you see that there's once again like a dwarven this, and then okay, now the stonework is kind of like it's dwarven here, but chunks of it were completely blown apart and replaced with wonderful orcish craft to replace that area. And then like, oh, okay, there's, you know, look at the walkway up there is dwarven, but a lot of that was destroyed at one point, and now it's wonderful orcish craft and super smooth and easy to walk on. Just watch your step. And you get into the keep itself, which does have large walls to guard it. You finally are able to get into the keep itself because the doors are open, the gate is open. You're able to get in there, and you see that this is in fact a city. It's a large city. The whole keep is a large city, and actually comes off as strangely militaristic. Usually orcs are very tribal, and they don't have a lot of like order and stringent organizations. That's something that you would typically find in like a hobgoblin area. But despite that, this seems to be a militaristic orcish area. People seem to move around with order. You know, almost it almost kind of feels like a human place. Like if you went into a human city, and how people walk on generally the same side of the road as they're walking and perusing through the markets, and the buildings are built relatively well, and sure they're very, very close to one another and built against one another and whatnot, but there's not like body parts and blood out in front because somebody was like, oh, you looked at me funny, let me break you. Like it actually seems to be a functioning society of, in looking around, 99.99% orcs or half orcs is what you see around you. And the difference between orcs and half orcs is a pretty good blend. It's like 2/3 orcs, 1/3 half orcs. And then, like I said, 99.9% of them. And then there's also predominantly humans is what you see of the remaining races. You do see the occasional like halfling here or there. You actually saw a tiefling off to the side, but you don't really see dwarves unless they're specifically running a shop that is there. And you don't see any elves here whatsoever. Not an elf, not a half elf whatsoever. But yeah, and you don't see any gnomes here. But this is like what you're seeing as you're walking through the place. But even though you're in the market's really not making any noise. It's like as you're walking through a busy marketplace where it would be loud, it's almost like really quiet chattering that's unintelligible. Like almost as though you guys are playing a game and the background sound was generic tavern sounds happening as you were playing your game, right? That's like what you're kind of getting being here. Sans the music. Though Otto can put that in there for us.
Oh yeah.
And so as you guys are making your way through the place, these are kind of like what you're taking in. How is it you want to try to find
no idea.
Brimawell? What is your
Temple
you do
some
know that
sort.
okay? So you're going to try to look around and find the Temple of Grumsh. I don't know if you had any spells or something like that you wanted to try to use to do this. So
I don't have like locate or any of that. Oh, I do have low, but I have to prepare it. I don't know.
yeah. Maggie?
Well, he kind of is describing it. Can we just use like our perception or?
Yep, you guys actually can use investigation to search around and try to find it.
I'm the worst at investigation, so
I know,
let's
it's so much
do
fun.
it.
I'm okay at that. I'm terrible at that, apparently.
-2. Well, I almost did as good as you, and I have a -2, and you have a +4.
Oh god.
That's sad.
Waiting on you, Matthew. There we go. I love how the two of you
It makes
combined are
sense
not
that
as good
Mathis
as.
would know, or that like Thonk would find, like have the highest, because he knows what he's looking for. The rest of us are. Me and Anna are like, okay, so temple.
Right.
So spending your time, it actually takes you guys, and you travel very quickly, mind you, but you're trying to find effectively a needle in a haystack, right?
Is it
Did you ever
that one? No, that one. That building.
and I imagine that's what Gromit does at first, and Thonk's like, no, Otto babysit. And then that goes off, and like, he tries to find it on his
Otto
own.
just keeps letting Grumman point out buildings, but yep. That's
It's like
one.
a little kid that's like, what's that? What's that?
Are we there yet?
I'm
So-
hungry.
So when you guys make your way looking around, eventually it takes you a few hours, which again you travel very quickly, but just searching. You eventually do find a Temple of Grumsh, and it's a decent sized temple that is amongst the regular, like where the regular people are. However, that is not the temple that is run by Brimawell. You literally have to find this out by going into the temple and looking around and looking at people and trying to judge their significance and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just kind of rolling this all into your investigation check. Trying to judge their significance, and none of them seem to be, okay, this is clearly the son of the king of this area. So you're like, okay, this isn't the temple. And you keep searching, rejoin with your friends, continue searching with them. And you do find out that the temple that he runs happens to be up by the castle itself, up by the actual home to King Obold Many Arrows.
Okay.
So you make your way there into that temple with your friends. I'm going to place you at like the front door, the entrance to the temple itself. And I imagine you just kind of go in and push your way into the temple. When you go in, there is no service currently happening, but there's always a service happening. So it's not like one of those, okay, a bunch of people are
Can you
here,
hear
but
me
there is somebody up front speaking. There's somebody up front like giving words, and again it sounds like to you guys, or wah 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 wah. And there are a few people there that are giving their prayer to Grumsh, which is not very like, let's just sit here and be quiet and listen. Like it's very boisterous and loud and like, yeah, that's how they tend to be.
Do they
but
cut themselves?
I mean, not that you see.
Okay.
So looking around, you can clearly tell this is not going to be one. That guy up front talking, or girl I should say up front talking, does not look like Brimawell. And secondly, this would not be the kind of showing. This would not be the kind of show up you would get for somebody like Bremuel. This is kind of the show up that you get for. It's just a random midday service being given, right? So you go around and continue looking to find this person, and looking around inside this place, you eventually come across a door that when you try to open it, you can't. Many of them you could. It was actually relatively easy. But you come across a door that you cannot open.
Oh, let me try.
Go right ahead, Gromit.
Can Gromit open the door?
Hey, Gromit tries.
Okay, Gromit's trying. Do I need to roll something?
You're welcome to.
Okay.
And with your 21 amazing strength check, doesn't even budge.
Oh, man.
The doorknob itself does not even turn.
Okay.
Protection magics.
Also, I don't think I have 21 anymore, right? Because that doesn't last that long.
So, what do you? So you're here trying to get to this door and it is not working.
I don't think it makes noise in the real world, but I'll bang on the door, see if anything happens.
Gromit will also help bang on the door.
You guys
wants to bang on the door.
Yeah.
All
Everyone's just hitting the door.
Absolutely.
Open up!
Absolutely. So you guys start banging on the door as loud as you can, as hard as you can, to try to get the attention of who it is of somebody on the other side of it. When, much to all of your surprise, the door actually opens up. It literally opens up, and what you see on the other side is a large, though obviously much smaller than Gromit, a large orc standing there with a couple of scars on his face, dressed head to toe in garments that show like homage to Grumsh himself. Clearly a cleric of high prestige to Grumsh. There's no question about that. Missing one of his eyes, looks like it was clawed out by fingernails, maybe. I mean, just because like the scratching and like that everything that was done there, it never really healed very well, but obviously done a long time ago. He's standing there looking at you guys, and even though that one eye is missing, it's funny because one eye is kind of like darting around and trying to see something that's there, but the socket with the missing eye, you can almost see almost like a ghostly image that's inside there. That's right there, and that one's not darting around. It's looking directly at Thunk, then Gromit, then Otto,
Ooh, that creepy.
and then back at Thunk. And then as it does that, all of a sudden the other eye starts like dotting around and trying to find out like who that is, where it is. All of a sudden that eye kind of like comes in tune, so that both the eyes are looking at Thunk, because I imagine he's just kind of the one that's in the front, right? So so he's looking at Thunk, and he says out loud to Thunk, "Who are you?"
I am Thonk. This is Gromit and Otto. We
Yeah,
come for
I Gromit.
I come seeking an audience with you, sent by fucking what's his name? Oog something.
Oga?
Agug.
Agug. Yep, Agug.
From Black Hill.
And you come in the plane of shadow?
We find ourselves rather trapped here, actually.
You traveled through a plane you can't leave from?
We went through the Fell Pass, stumbled across a rather powerful castle with demons in it. We got out.
Misfortune, not foolishness. It gestures for you guys to come into his room.
Ah, sweet.
Hey. Hey. I was genuinely like pleasantly surprised. Okay, cool.
You guys go into the room, and as you do so, he goes and kind of grabs a couple of reagents from the table, a tuning fork, ding, and makes his way over to you guys, and standing between all of you, kind of like has you stand near each other. It doesn't direct you, he just goes to where you guys are grouped up, and he's holds a tuning fork over your each one of your heads individually, and does like an ever so slight tang to it, and you can hear the tune of the fork, like the tone that comes off of it, of the fork, changes ever so slightly until eventually it hits like a note where it resonates like with you, and you can kind of like feel like a shiver go down your spine. It's strange how like the shiver kind of goes through you, like that whole someone was walking on your grave, kind of things, you know.
Oh, I
And
don't
you
like
feel like
this.
we're done it. And then after he does it to each one of you, so it kind of like comes in tune with all of you. He takes a step back, holds it out in front of him, and gives it a heavier smack. So this time it's much louder, and as that tone rings, all of a sudden you feel a much more intense shiver come over your body. When all of a sudden, for the first time in a long time, you can see color. You didn't realize how dulled the colors were when you were there. Noise is like deafeningly loud. Oh my God, that tone it's so high pitched, and oh my God, it hurts your ears, and it's so loud, and the smells. Oh, you haven't smelt anything in
Grandma's
days.
gonna
And
stop the dinging, like grab the thing.
absolutely, you stop the dinging, and then as Gromit reaches forward and grabs the dinging, like out of almost a reaction, just to stop the headache from coming on. You guys realize you haven't been hungry in days either, and so your stomach is turning and twisting in knots because you literally haven't eaten. Your stomach hurts. Oh my God, your thirst, your tongue, your mouth, everything is just so dry because you just never had the urge to open your flask, so you never drank from it, or open your water skin, so you never drank from it, and you're tired. You're so tired. Like it's been days since you slept, and all of this comes over you guys, washes over you over the course of like the next 10 seconds.
The first thing we smell is a gigantic orc city. Perfect.
It's racist, Mathis. It's racist. I will not have it in my games.
It's just observant.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, as seeing you guys like kind of like keeling over a little bit, reacting to all of this, and almost expecting that was going to happen, he the tuning fork, he takes it from Grommen's weaker hands with like a sharp pulls it from Grommen's weakened grasp, and goes over to like the area where it was, goes over to this bookcase, and he grabs a flask off of the a decanter off the bookcase and hands it to Thonk and says, "Drink."
Without question, we'll grab it and drink.
And take a swig.
Yeah.
So immediately what washes over you is a restoration spell that eliminates much of what it was that you were experiencing. Though, of course, your character is still hungry and he is still thirsty, but the exhaustion, the weakness, all of that stuff, even like the sickness of becoming out of this realm that you were stuck in for days, goes away very, very quickly. You coming much more in tune of where you are. That doesn't slake your thirst or fill your belly, though. He then hands the flask over to Grommen to take a swig.
Grumman chugs.
Chugs, awesome.
Yeah.
Do you leave any behind or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So you take chug, and the same exact thing happens. Your thirst is a little bit your thirst is a little bit quenched because you drank so much of it, but you're still hungry, you're still thirsty, but all those other effects are gone. And then he takes it back from Grommen and he goes over and puts it back on the shelf.
Hey, I.
Something tells me you do not swear your fealty to Grumsh, and so he will not give blessings to you.
That's fair, I guess. Otto goes to like find a chair or something.
Grumman picks up Otto and puts him in the bag.
In the
Otto
bag?
falls asleep.
Back in the bag, yeah.
He starts rummaging around for like crumbs. Like, I'm
No, I
hungry.
just like he puts me in the bag and I just fucking collapse, just crumple up, and I'm
The bag's been
Sleep in a
upgraded
ball.
because those people made it into like a makeshift bed thing.
yeah.
Upgraded. Gotta love them upgrade. No, you know what? Fuck that, Maggie. That bag fell apart in the battle. It was ripped apart by those arms. You get like thousands of gold. It's gone.
No.
It's gone.
We can't
that bag
buy a
doesn't
new
exist
cool
anymore.
bag with 8,000 gold. We still
Can't have it. Can't have it. No, yeah, you're gonna
Gotta
spend.
get
You're
a
gonna have to
custom
spend
Otto bag.
like $6,000 is what it's gonna cost
Oh
you.
yeah,
okay?
that's how much that is. Okay.
Yeah. Like 6,800. Okay, that's it.
I go up to Brimwell. I'm just like, listen, I know how to make this town filthy rich and could take over the world. All right.
We
Skirmish
found
as
this
well.
castle.
It's fantastic.
So he looks to you and he says, "You were meant to have a meeting with me.
Well,
Do they need to be
We did
here?"
plan that.
Thonk actually takes like a beat to just like before answering. They've seen everything I've seen. They are trustworthy.
They serve the will of Grumsh.
They've never betrayed me, and I serve the will of Grumsh.
He turns to Grommen and says, do you find Grumsh in your heart? Do you feel his call on the battlefield? Do you carry his hate with you?
Grommen like touches his heart and looks down. Yes.
He literally stares Grommen in the eyes, uncomfortably so, when you're like behaving like this. He stares like in your eyes, almost like looking through you as he does so. And after you're kind of like done with that, maybe like because the staring continues, how do you react to that? Just
Grommen
kinda like-
stares at him. Yeah. Grommen's like, oh, we're doing staring contest now.
Does Grommen actually say that?
No, he doesn't say that, but he
Okay.
starts. He thinks it.
He continues staring Grommen in the eyes, like
Wow.
with his one eye.
Grommen closes the one eye and like looks at him with the other.
He holds that stare for probably a solid minute or so, and then he looks back at Thonk and says, "Good warrior,
Incredibly.
very dull for his heritage."
Incredibly.
And then he, like, almost as though that conversation is just no longer of significance, he then says, "You came here for a meeting with me. I know not of anything other than my morning prayers telling me that I will be getting an arrival today. What is it that... Why are you here?"
God, fuck, why am I here? I have to talk to him about something, and I can't remember what.
When was this that you got this mission?
Oh,
Dude,
like beginning of the
ages
beginning of the
ago.
campaign.
Oh,
After he
Yeah.
mathised up that awesome place that you had, by trying to kill their kid.
Oh, this was when Black Hill.
Yeah, this was a Black
He
Hill.
went to that place
Black
where
Hill.
he cut you, and you were like, "I don't like this," and
I honestly
and then
can't remember
you
why I'm
watched
here.
an elf getting flayed.
Like, I feel like I need to
Yeah,
help him
Xeris
because I need
Nightblade.
the eye of Grummish like pointing back at Black Hill. Like that's like the vague idea that I have.
Yep. So the whole idea is that you were trying to accomplish things way back to the east, but
Yeah.
things weren't happening. They just weren't working in your favor. So it's very clear the Eye of Grumsh has been looking to the west and has been lending his guidance.
You
to
killed
the-
lots of druids, and you had a mission to see the church
Something
from
like
that weird
yeah.
orc
Yeah, I
village
remember
in
that.
Thest.
Yeah, so I guess I'll put it vaguely to him. I'll just be like,
Well, I can keep explaining to you.
oh yeah, go ahead, please.
Sorry, my apologies. So you were making your way. Sorry, he wanted you to more or less go over there and find out, learn from him how it is that you can take Grumsh's eye and bring his attention back to the east, so you can have Grumsh's favor to have the people once again rise up and gather together the forces needed to actually step forward some foundation of a society back to the east, same as they have just done to the west.
Okay,
Now,
gotcha.
before you left, as a reminder, which I'm pretty sure you remember,
I remember what
you
you're
had
probably gonna
thrown-
say. Yeah.
you had intentionally put forward a little bit of chaos
Yeah.
in hopes that would work in your favor.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll just look to him. It has been long since the Eye of Grummish has looked to the east. He has fixated his gaze upon the west. And while I put gears in motion to allow the orcs to rise up where I'm from, it will take the blessing of Grummish to give them the ability and the power to do so. I can lay the framework, but we need our God's blessing. And for that, I'm here to learn from you.
Grumman like looks at Otto like, what are they
Grom, Otto's like,
Otto is fucking fast asleep.
You come here to earn Grumsh's favor, to carry that favor back home and spread Grumsh's will. This is why.
Thonk just nods. As I said, gears have been set in motion already, but more need be done.
No one else is aware of the facts that you're here.
Agug is aware of the fact that I'm here.
But nobody here.
Oh, you mean within Dark Arrow Keep? Not to my knowledge.
Then we need to. You need food. You need drink. And you need rest. Before there's anything else we can do.
And Grommen needs ladies.
Women come. Do you say that?
Thonk wouldn't say that.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I was like,
Do have enlarged body parts. You know.
enlarged extremity is what it's called, Maggie.
Enlarged
Enlarged extremity.
extremities.
It's the EE spell.
Whatever.
EE spell. So,
God, I would love to send an orcish prostitute to Otto's room, though. God, if I had a sense of humor. Just to see Otto's look the next morning, just be like, we have a good night, buddy. Anyway, no, Thonk doesn't say any of that because he's a killjoy. Continue.
he's like, I will find you a place to rest, but you will have to come with me. And so he actually will go over and he grabs up off of the desk again that same tuning fork, and he'll once again tap it over each one of your
Grommen's
heads.
gonna stop it before.
Sure, you
Like,
grab up and
does it-
stop it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. He just looks at you.
I don't
annoyed.
like that sound.
It's Grumsh's will.
But why do you have to make such horrible sound?
It's Grumsh's will.
Grommen, let's go.
If Grommen doesn't go any further, over Grommen's head, he actually taps it harder than he originally would have. And so it makes this like really low, bassy kind of noise that's somewhat muffled and strange and bizarre. And it holds over Grommen's head until once again that strange shiver goes down his back. He moves it slightly over behind Grommen, so it's over Otto. Does it again. That shiver and that uncomfortable feeling wakes Otto right up, and he's like, "Whoa," you know. Goes over to Thonk, does the same thing. Then he does it over himself, and then he holds it out in front of all of you and smacks it one last time, so it's really loud. And this time, when you guys are moved, all of a sudden everything feels dull and stark and strange, and you realize very quickly, only because you just left it so recently, you transition back to the plane of shadow. You're actually back inside the plane of
Oh
shadow.
no, we here again.
And with that, he actually is going to guide you guys out of his out of this office and through the temple down to an area where he brings you downstairs through a few hallways, and then he opens up a secret door behind a wall. Maggie, could you do me a favor and roll me a I guess it would be a history check, but with advantage.
Ooh, history. Alright, give myself some advantage. And oh god.
Hey, not bad. You actually know that the secret door that he led you through is Dwarven make. And then after he shuts the secret door behind you guys, it brings you into.
Is it the only door that's looked dwarven?
Again, this place, like where you are right now, the Temple of Grumsh, actually seems to be completely made of orcish craft. But the city itself goes through areas of like 3/4 dwarven to 1/4 orcish to 3/4 orcish and 1/4 dwarven, anywhere in between, as it's like melded together with like things being broken and being rebuilt along the way. But the Temple of Grumsh was completely orcish until you came down into like this basement back area and the secret door, right?
Okay.
So it's almost like the part of the foundation.
When we get through the door, Grommen's just gonna be like, ooh, that dwarven door.
So he'll actually toss like a sideways glance at you, like strange that you know that. But he leads you guys through, and you immediately go into a hallway. The hallway leads, as you guys go further, into 3 other rooms. So the hallway goes into 1 room on either side and a 3rd one in the back. You can tell that these rooms are a room that's full of beds, so a place where you can easily rest. A room that has like an eating place, recreation, so on and so forth. And the back room has like a training area. So it's literally food, drink, and relaxation, place to sleep, and a place to train yourselves. And once he brings you into the area where you guys can train yourselves, there is another orc that's down there. but doesn't notice you guys. He's just in there doing some like practicing and hitting against some stuff that's down there. He does the same exact thing with the tuning fork. Brings you guys back to the real world. Otto, who had moments of reprieve, even though he was still like tired and uncomfortable and all that stuff back in the shadow plane, it was kind of lessened and dulled. It's worse again. It's bad. It's bad again, just as it was before. So you're uncomfortable. And he brings you guys back to the material plane, where he quickly introduces you to the other orc that's inside the room with you guys. His name is Gathog, and he informs you that orc will be looking after you for the next few days, and that this is where you will be staying for the next few days while he gets things in order. But other than that, he does implore that you guys rest up and get comfortable with being here. You will be stuck here for a few days. And then he turns to leave unless you say anything else before he goes.
I don't say anything.
Grauman, if Thonk doesn't say anything, Grauman doesn't say anything. Oh, well, maybe Grauman says bye when he leaves.
Goodbye.
Otto is exhausted.
Yep. And so you guys are able to grab food, grab drink, pass out, and so on and so forth. And we will worry about what happens next week. We're finally there, Dark Arrow Keep.
We made it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Week 25 was a blast. We'll be back next Tuesday for week 26. We're gonna go around the room. People can just tell you where people can find what people are doing this week, all that good stuff. Starting with a Bear. Bear, what's going on, man?
Hey everybody, I am Bear Taffy, BAER Taffy, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. I'm playing video games, playing a lot of Dead Cells over on YouTube lately, loving that. And we host a podcast every week as well over on twitch.tv/roundtable podcast. This is with me and Mathis and Ryan, Northern Lion, and Rockley Smile. That's his name.
Heck yeah.
I lost it for like a tenth of a second. Don't tell Nick.
I will never tell him. No, don't worry.
But yeah, you can watch that over on twitch.tv/roundtable podcast as well.
Sounds good. Maggie, what do you got going on?
Hi, you can find me at Margaret Crone in all the places, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere. This week we're going to be playing Prey. I've also been playing a lot of EQ lately.
Wow.
You gotta grind the May-Aids, you know, son. And then on Sunday we'll be playing some Low for It again with that crew, and it'll be Shadowrun action.
Nice.
And I don't know what's happened with Thursday show on here.
We're working
So
on
whenever Mathis and Delbert tell me what's up.
it. Once we have something, we'll tell you. How is, out of curiosity, how is EQ? Is it still populated?
I've seen a lot of people get back in.
Well, we're on the Rage Fire Progression server, which just got Planes of Power, and so we've been raiding that and then just grinding AAs and stuff like that.
And it's one of those games that's like I'm super pumped that game is still around, but I don't think it's a game I could ever play because it's so old.
Yeah, it's been around forever.
Yeah, it certainly has. Scott, what you got going on this week?
I don't know about Thursday yet. We're figuring that out. But Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, I'm playing as a character whose name I won't say because I don't want to spoil anything from Maggie, who has not seen the most recent episode over at Roll for It.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm playing a character because it was a precarious situation last week. Playing a character over at Roll for It at Friday at 3 p.m. It's
I'm
lots of
assuming
fun.
stuff dropped on your head and you died.
Listen, lots of things fell on my head. Lots and lots and lots of rations fell on my head. All for donations for a wonderful charity, which is great. But
So you're
ow.
saying people killed you?
I'm saying lots of money was donated to make my life miserable, and I thought it was great. But moving on, and then 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I play an Eberron 5e campaign on twitch.tv/DaleRickMaster. Other than that, you can find me at YouTube/DaleRick, Twitter, DaleRick, all that stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And you can find me here.
I'll probably watch Moana again.
Oh God, fucking Christ! Why?
You're welcome.
I'm gonna mute you. You can find me here every Tuesday and usually on Thursday. Working on that Thursday thing though. You can tweet at the show at Lost in It Show and the subreddit as well as Lost Initiative Show on the Reddit. As for me personal stuff, I have an announcement video going live on